What are you doing here? How'd you find me?
Well, there were only one or two Helen Smarts in the phone book and only one with model after her name.
Oh, I knew it wouldn't pay to advertise.
Look, I gotta talk to you, but not here, okay?
Yeah, okay. Give me a minute, then follow me up. Flat 6.
6,
okay? Why did you have to pick on me? I thought you'd be out of the country by now.
Well, I need a place to stay, you know, just so I can get myself organised.
No way, not here, no.
Come on, love, you're the only one I can turn to.
Judy, I helped you escape. I did everything I said I would, but I don't recall saying you could use my place as a halfway house.
Well, you live here alone.
Yes, but it also happens to be my place of employment. I've got customers coming over here.
Well, cancel them. Look, this'll help cover your losses, huh?
No, I can't do that. They'd go somewhere else and I'd lose them for good.
You're not going to settle for rabbit when they can have mink. Why don't you have that much confidence in yourself?
All right. Oh, I could do with the rest anyway.
Yeah, so could I. I'm bushed.
Well, I thought you'd be out of Melbourne by now.
Well, I tried. The police were on my trail, so I had to backtrack.
Well, where have you been staying? Your face has hit the front page of every newspaper.
I was staying with friends.
What a shame you had to leave.
I met this guy called Wally on the road, you know. He just wanted to help. He was a really nice guy. Sort of guy who wouldn't hurt a fly. Then I had to go and get him arrested.
Oh, great. That just leaves me to go.
No one will know I'm here, I promise. You know, since Sharon got murdered, it just seems that everyone I get involved with, I botch things up for.
Well, that makes me feel a whole lot better, I'm sure.
I got talking to Wally's daughter. She gave me some good ideas, you know. She made me believe that maybe I can do something good for once in my life. Tell things how they really are. That'll get pigs like Gillespie and Stewart. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try. And I can tell you one thing, I won't go back into that prison until they damn well listen to me. I got too many scores to settle. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. How did I find out? Well, let's just say I had inside information. Oh, I don't believe it. They're going to show my tape tonight.
Whoopee.
And what do you mean by that? Oh, come on, Helen, wait till you see it. I really laid everything on the line. Gillespie and Stewart are going to get it right between the eyes.
Well, they might give you your own TV show.
Oh, don't be like that. Look, once it's shown, people are going to believe me. They're going to start asking questions. And when they do, they're going to have to reopen Sharon's case. You know, then Jock Stewart will go down for murder.
They might even name a prison after you.
Oh, come on. You've been inside yourself. You know what it's like in there. The minute we have a legit complaint against a screw, we're the ones that cop it. We got no rights, we got no privacy, we got no proper facilities. No one cares about us because no one knows the truth. Well, this time they're gonna find out. So just keep your wisecracks to yourself.
Listen, Judy, you don't have first rights on hating blokes like Stewart and Gillespie, you know. The authorities aren't going to lift a finger on the say-so of an escaped crim. And even if they do, there'll be 10 pigs like them to take their place. Look, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear or see of Wentworth again, okay?
You mean with the job you have, you don't think you'll end up back in there?
Well, it didn't stop you coming to me for help.
I'm sorry, honey. It's just that when I go back inside, I'm going to go back for a long time. You know what that means? I want to make sure that when I go back to something that's decent. I want to know that all this has been worthwhile. It's the last chance I'm going to get. And I've got a lot to make up for.
Okay, now wait a few minutes before you start the fighting.
Don't get too carried away.
Well, no biting this time.
But she's still going ahead with it. And this is even after he made a complete fool of himself over the Lizzie business.
Did he say what was on the tape?
He didn't have to. I can well imagine the lies Brian's come up with about Wentworth and us.
I'm surprised they're letting it go to air. Unless it's just for sensationalism.
Well, at least Mrs. Davidson's agreed that the women shouldn't see it.
Yes, I'll get Mr. Humphrey to move it.
Good.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Morris didn't catch that?
When you finish there, Sid, would you mind giving me a hand moving the television out of the recreation room?
Not at all.
least it's taken some of the pressure off Lizzie.
For once, that temper of hers seemed to do some good.
Yes, it shows she hasn't given up entirely.
But she's stubborn, and if she's made up her mind, she doesn't want to go on.
What do you think we should do?
Well, I think...
Why don't you look where you're going?
What's the idea of freaking Lizzie out and telling her she can't go to America? You know the shock could have killed her?
Well, I was only having a chat to her.
Well, we were not going to tell her until she was back on her feet.
Well, I'd make up for it, not on purpose.
Well, maybe you can make up for it.
How?
Lizzie likes to watch TV, and she can't do that if you're going to shift it, can she?
What do you know about that?
I know everything that goes on around here.
A few extra duties might keep you both out of trouble.
Ah, look, the damn thing's on the blink again. Some television repairman you turned out to be. I thought you said you fixed this the other day.
Well, yes, I did.
Well, it's lucky you came in when you did, because now you can fix it properly.
Have you two finished yet?
Nearly, Mrs.
Well,
Morris.
get a move on with it then. Sid, could you take a look at it, please? I think what we need is a new set.
Do you reckon old Gillespie's come back to haunt us, Bee?
Yeah. Last time it went on the blink, Sid reckoned someone had been tampering with it, didn't you, Sid? I put two and two together and came up with Gillespie.
You've got a very vivid imagination, Smith.
Yeah, I won't be able to fix it tonight, Mrs. Morris.
Oh, come on,
No, one or two spare parts.
Television won't hurt you. There are other things you can do.
Like what? Like watching Jude on TV.
I have with me in the studio this evening Mrs. Erica Davidson, who is the governor of Wentworth Detention Centre. Good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Judy Bryant escaped from Wentworth 10 days ago. She is described as dangerous, and anyone knowing her whereabouts should inform the police immediately. Now, a videotape recording was delivered to this channel in which Miss Bryant has made certain accusations against the Wentworth Detention Centre and its administration. First of all, we'll have a look at some excerpts from this tape, and then I'll ask Mrs. Davidson to comment on them.
I'm Judy Bryant. I'd like to say something about the way that they treat women at Wentworth. But first, I'd like to say that I just didn't escape for the hell of it. I escaped because I couldn't take what they were doing to us in there. Recently, an inspector called came to Wentworth.
What the hell? They didn't say his
Now,
name.
the only way I can describe what he was doing to us is that he was turning it into a concentration camp. There were armed guards everywhere. We were being stood over every second. There was no recreation. We couldn't even move around the prison like we used to. And if we said anything about it, we were locked in solitary, or we'd be given filthy jobs to do, or we'd have our privileges taken away from us. And by privileges, I mean simple things like watching television or buying a packet of cigarettes. Now, they call that rehabilitation. They say it's just to help us. Well, I say it's nothing other than sadism and repression.
They've done it again. Say his name, damn you. Say his name.
Would you like to comment on that, Mrs. Davidson?
Apart from being exaggerated, I am pleased to say the points raised are no longer valid.
You mean action was taken because of the referred to gentleman's harsh treatment?
Not at all. His position was only a temporary one.
Then why was this gentleman put in such a responsible position?
I'm trying to listen.
No one is saying the prison system is perfect. At times it is imperative.
Should I make mincemeat of you, Jude?
The tight security and discipline were experimental, but are no longer in effect.
But these conditions did exist.
Briefly, but you must remember, Mr. Hopkins, that dealing with such a large group of women under these circumstances, at times it is necessary to introduce disciplinary measures.
All right. Apart from these occasional experiments, what's being done about rehabilitation? Or do you only see Wentworth as a form of punishment?
Not at all. We have always held courses from sewing to typing. They fail from time to time because of the women's lack of interest and bad attendance. But we are hoping to remedy that shortly. The Education Department has appointed a teacher to Wentworth. And as from tomorrow, we will be incorporating regular classes in general education.
That sounds encouraging.
Yes.
Do you reckon it's true,
A
B?
large percentage of the
I don't know,
women
could
have
be
a
just
low
soft soap.
education.
Hey,
We're
Lizzie,
hoping
that means we
these
might be able to
classes
start
will help them
studying.
when they are released.
Won't be much
What
good
about
to
the
me at
alleged
my
violence
age.
by officers against
What about the business when we get out?
Violence?
I won't be getting
Shall we
out.
take a look at this?
A few months back, a friend of mine called Sharon Gilmore was murdered at Wentworth. Now, I know who murdered her because he admitted it to me. She was murdered by an officer called Nothing was done about it, except for him to be transferred. An innocent woman was murdered by an officer, and he got away with it.
Well, and what do you have to say to that, Mrs. Davidson?
They're not going to
That was
let
an
me
unfortunate
finish.
accident.
They can't do this to me.
And there was a coroner's inquest. But there was nothing to show it was anything other than accidental death.
Then why was the accused officer removed?
For his own protection. The prisoners often get grudges against the staff, and they can become quite violent. So, in actual fact, the staff are far more vulnerable than the women.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. I tried to warn you. You can't beat the system.
Oh, can't I just? Now, if they won't do something about him, I will.
Like what?
You knew Jock Stewart before he came to Wentworth, didn't you? Come on now, Helen. You used to call him the Highland Flinger. He used to bash up the girls in the massage parlors, remember?
Yes, so what?
So tomorrow, you're going to find him for me.
Oh, no way. Come on, Judy. I don't know what you've got in mind. Just leave me out of it.
I'm sorry to say this to you, Helen, but tomorrow you are going to check out the parlors and find him, or you're liable to find yourself back inside charged with harboring a criminal. Well, that didn't take long.
No, all the girls know him. He's been doing the rounds. Last few weeks he's been a regular at Doris's. Goes there maybe twice a week.
You've done real well.
Okay, so now you know where he hangs out. What are you going to do about it? Just hang out in the streets until you find him? You show your face out there for 2 minutes.
Look, don't worry, I've got it all worked out.
Listen, honey, I know how you feel about Jock Stewart. He's a pig. But what's it going to get you?
Another couple of years, that's all.
You're talking about murder, Judy.
I'm talking about settling an old debt.
Oh, this isn't going to work. I can't make a silk G-string out of a flannel jockstrap in a few hours.
Flannel jockstrap, I like that. I gotta remember that one, eh? Oh, come on, don't be so pessimistic. Just dress me up so no one will recognize me and leave the rest to me.
You don't know what you're letting yourself in for, Judy.
Well, you said yourself I can't go wandering around the streets, didn't you? Now, if this is the only way that I can get Stewart, I'm gonna do it. Anyway, I might be lucky. He could be my first client, eh?
You haven't even got the job yet, and I don't know... Will you look at the way you're standing? Could you stand like a lady and not like a bloody wharfie? Walk around. Go on, walk. Oh, that's bloody fantastic. The only thing you'll attract will be a Butch Sheila that comes along.
Good, yeah.
We're dealing with men, Judy. Men. M-E-N.
Look, will you get off my back and just tell me what to do, for crying out loud?
Watch me. All you can do is make jokes. Look, assuming you get the job, and I doubt that, Stewart could have changed places. Do you think you can hack it until you find him? It's one thing talking about it, Judy, and another thing doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Do you? And if you find Stewart, do you think you've got it in you?
Look, I always joke when I feel cornered, huh? Now, let's just try this again. See how I'm going, will you?
It's better. But I hope you're a fast learner, Judy, in more ways than one. It's not too late to change your mind. All right, I'll go through it once more. Try not to talk too much to the customer. You'll find that he'll know what it is that he wants. So just pretend you know what you're doing. Now, if he doesn't know what he wants, well, use your imagination. And for heaven's sake, don't look bored. Make him feel like he's the only man in the world.
Well, maybe with a bit of luck, I might find someone that wants to sit up and talk all night, you know? I'm a hell of a good listener.
I hope you're good at a few other things. Look, loosen up. You're not going to get the job if you look like a 40-year-old virgin.
I can't help that. I am.
Tell me you're kidding. Please, tell me you're kidding. Oh, hell.
Turn around. Let me get a good look at you. A bit broad in the beam, but not bad. Let's see your teeth.
What is this, the horse trials or something?
Oh, come on, Doris. Banner's been with one of the top houses in the Cross. She's certainly not used to taking inspection.
What made you leave Sydney?
Oh, you know, change of scene.
You clean?
Hey, would I introduce you to anything but the best? No drugs, no trouble. Just a simple girl who likes her job.
What do you specialize in?
Oh, you name it.
I'll give you a trial run. The house gets 45% of what you earn. If I get one complaint, out you go.
Well, I haven't had a complaint yet.
I've got some clients coming in this afternoon. You might as well start straight away.
Glad you changed your mind, Lizzie. You never know. You might learn how to write them memoirs like you always wanted to.
Yeah. How I mucked up me life and everybody else's.
You know, it's a pity we drummed up all that work for old Sid. If he spent more time fixing things and less time bragging
You
about how...
leave him alone. A man like him has to be kept busy. Anyhow, I don't reckon he's got a mean bone in his whole body.
Well, my, haven't
Quiet! Oh, he looks young enough to be me grandson.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Andrews, our educational officer. As you know, all women serving sentences are entitled to classes ranging from a minimum of 1 half-day a week to a maximum of 5 half-days a week. I expect you all to give him your full cooperation. How much you benefit from these classes is entirely up to you. I'll leave it with you, Mr. Andrews. Good luck.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hi.
Sit down, won't you? Well, I suppose the best place to start is to explain what this is all about. I'm glad to see so many of you interested.
Oh, we never knocked back a chance to be rehabilitated.
Well, actually, I'm not here to rehabilitate. You see, the word rehabilitation means restore to its previous condition. Now, we prefer to think that we've got a program that's much more beneficial. We want to give you a whole new start.
Best way to do that for me is let me out tomorrow.
My way might take a bit more time, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Now, the basic program areas are basic education in reading, writing, spelling and arithmetic, general education studies. Later on, we'll introduce you to tutors in more specialised areas such as typing, childcare, sex education.
You have to teach us anything on that score. That's what got most of us in here in the first place.
Yes, well, then we have French, Greek, cookery, fashion and design, music, pottery and other craft activities. Now, our aim is to provide educational opportunities in a wide range of skill development and personal growth areas, including academic, social, recreational and vocational. Development of personal awareness, esteem, confidence and appropriate social attitudes is our main aim.
What's he on about, B?
Oh, no.
We'll concentrate on human relationships and personal development, pre-release courses and career education, recreational and creative arts programs.
Oh, boy, I hope you teach better than you talk, Sonny. Otherwise, we're all going to walk out of here more ignorant than we came in. And then, if he doesn't get any better, well, he's a nice enough young bloke. Maybe he'd like to do a few favours for some of the girls who are a bit hard up.
Yeah, well, I reckon he's too smart for his own good. All them big words, he's just showing off.
Yeah, well, he could have fooled me. I saw the way you were eyeing him up and down.
I didn't. Oh, well, he looks okay, but he's a lousy teacher. Just 'cause he's kind of cute, well, that doesn't mean nothing.
I don't believe my ears. Did I just hear Lizzie almost laugh? Hey, Doreen, did you hear anything?
Could have been a cough butt.
Yeah, must have been. After all, what could a person on their last legs find to laugh at?
I'm not dead yet, you know.
Well, Lizzie, welcome back to the land of the living.
Maybe it's because you've started to tell the truth for once. Makes you feel better, eh, Lizzie?
Yeah, it does, as a matter of fact. But I can't tell them the whole truth, else the screws will find out that I didn't kill Kay White.
Yeah. What have you told them?
Oh, just that I'm not getting out when I thought I was, and that was an accident and I had a rotten judge.
Here.
You and Josie deserve a nice fella to look after you, so you make sure that you're happy, because if you're not happy when you're young, you never will be. Just knowing you're happy is all that I could ever ask. And one day when you feel like coming back for a holiday or something, I'll be waiting. All my love, Lizzie.
That's real nice, Lizzie.
You gotta know when to let go.
I can't say the clients have been over-enthusiastic. But there again, no one's complained. So the job's yours.
Thanks.
Same time tomorrow, then. I hope we managed to please you today, Mr. Stewart.
You're on a low-class dive, a low-class horse. They all disgust me.
If you didn't pay so well, I'd... You let me know if that pig ever gets too rough on you, sweetie. I'll sick one of the boys onto him.
Feeling better? Here, get this into you.
Aren't you working tonight?
I thought you could use someone to talk to.
Yeah, sure. How was work today, Jude? Everything go all right at the brothel, honey?
No one's making you go back, you know.
I don't know how you can look at yourself in the mirror.
Easy. I've got my self-respect.
Self-respect? You do this out of choice, for crying out loud.
It's a job. Pays well. Most of my clients treat me well. And it's the only thing I know how to do best. The only one that can take away your self-respect's yourself.
You're trying to tell me you like what you do?
This might surprise you, but I do. Get out of it, Judy, before it destroys you. Go on and you'll end up hating yourself as much as you hate Jock Stewart. No one's worth that, no matter what they've done. All right, you want to sink as low as him? Go right ahead. But you're the one that's going to have to live with it. All of it.
I've already sunk as low as I can go. But I'm taking him with me.
The idea of these tests is to give me an idea of what you know, how far advanced you are. Come on, ladies, there's nothing to be afraid of. I'm the only one who's going to see the papers. I expect it to be your own work. Doreen, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Andrews, but I wasn't cheating, honest. I was just looking to see if B got the answer right.
Are you having difficulty answering these questions?
This is kid stuff.
Yes, well, I thought I'd start you off on something simple just so that you could get the feel of it.
Oh, I've got the feel of it, all right.
Yeah. What good's knowing the capital of Japan if we can't even get a visa to go and have a look?
Look, when I ask you to do something, I expect you to do it. I'm not here to waste my time.
And neither are we.
I need to know what areas you'd be best suited to.
So you reckon we're going to be left in here folding sheets for the rest of our lives?
Is this going to help me get a job?
Well, no.
Well, it's a waste of flaming time.
But you're not seriously thinking of working?
I'm not finished yet, you know, and if Sid can do a good day's work, there's nothing stopping me either.
All right, all right. Why don't you tell me what you'd all like to be when you get out?
I'd like to be a bus driver. So I could run down smart-ass young teachers who seem to imagine that anyone on the inside's got the brains of a 1-year-old. What were those words you were using yesterday? Esteem, confidence, personal assurance. You know, you ought to learn what those words mean before you start trying to teach them.
Don't suppose I could borrow a cigarette, could I, Mr. Andrews?
You get all you need from the buy-up.
Well, didn't you pick up the rules quickly? Shame you didn't pick up some common sense to go along with that brain of yours. Well, well, well. Isn't it amazing what a few flowers do for a person?
Yeah, but maybe it's got something to do with where they came from.
You have to sneak up on me like that. Can't a person spend some time on her own?
Oh, and snaky to boot. Now, what do you suppose might cause that, Doreen?
Well, I think Lizzie's found a boyfriend.
Look who's talking. I saw the way you're eyeing off that pipsqueak who calls himself a teacher.
That's a lie. And I was just feeling sorry for him, if you must know.
Anyway, stop changing the subject, Lizzie. Now, have you got a soft spot for Sid or not?
He's all right. At least I got someone to talk to me own age.
Oh, talking about old times, huh? Chatting away about the Depression.
We got better things to talk about than that.
Yeah, I bet.
I was just beginning to feel my old self again. I might even come back to laundry tomorrow.
Aren't you going back to the classes, Lizzie?
What? Not while that young whippersnapper rules the roosts there.
What about you, Bea?
What's the matter what I do? Listen, love, if you think you can get something out of those classes, well, go ahead. Doesn't matter what anyone else says. Okay?
We didn't expect you back quite so soon, Mr. Stewart.
You're going to have to learn not to take such a great interest in your clients, Doris.
It's just that I like to look after my special customers. If I'd known you were coming... Sally isn't here, you see.
Well, you better get somebody else, then.
Yes, of course. If you'd like to wait in there, I'll see you're well looked after.
Not a worry in the world, Doris. When you first escaped, I thought you might have come after me. I didn't think you'd forget that very easily. Now it looks like I got you just where I want you, lassie. You know, I could kill you right now. Walk right out of that door and never lose a night's sleep. You know that?
Why don't you?
Well, there wouldn't be much fun in that now, would there, eh? And I'm a man who likes his pleasures, you know that. You're not so chirpy now, Brian, are you, eh? You know what? I reckon that you owe your old friend Jock here a bit of a favour. And you're not much of a posie to say no in any case, are you?
What do you want me to do?
You wouldn't have a clue, would you? What I want you couldn't possibly supply. I know what you are, Brian. You couldn't satisfy the likes of me. You wouldn't have a clue. But I'll tell you what you are going to do. You're going to work for Jock. That's right. Because every time I come in here, I'm going to want $300 from you. You understand?
Well, what if I don't?
If you don't, I'll do two things. First of all, I'll break every bone in your body. That's right. And then I'll inform my friends, the boys in blue, that you and your wee friend, Helen Smart are right here for the pickings. You'll both be whisked off to Wentworth in a flash. I promise you something, if you don't, you'll be sorry for the day you ever heard the name Jock Stewart. Poor wee Shan Gilmer. Eh? You remember her? Eh? Pretty wee thing, too. I remember her all lying crumpled at the bottom of these stairs. Poor wee thing. But you know, you were absolutely bonkers to think you could put me away, Brian. Yeah, bonkers. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do. Now, listen. I'm going to call in here every day, see? I'm going to ask for you. And they'll think you're doing a real good job if you can satisfy me. And each time I come in, I'm going to want that 300. Now, you're going to have to work bloody hard to get that sort of money together, aren't you, eh? You know, just looking at you in any case, Brian, I reckon you could really do with the practice. Don't you? Eh? I'll see you tomorrow.
G'day, love. So Sheila like you doing out so late? Oh, not talking, are you? Hey, Charlie, she's a bit shy. Needs looking after.
Will you go to hell?
Oh, she talks. Do you want to lift?
Buzz off, Buster.
Come on, we'll show you a good time.
Get out of it! Bitch!
Ugly old pig, anyway!
Bloody quiet tonight.
Yes, it is.
That's a new face, Pete. Check it out.
Yes, Sarge.
Down here, come on.
It's no good we lost her. I'd like to know who she was, though. We better get back. Scared her off if nothing else.
Oh, a bit late, fella. Come in. What the hell happened to you? You look terrible. Here, this might help a little.
I found him.
And?
I blew it.
How come?
I tried. You know, I never thought that I could kill anybody, but I could have killed that bastard so easily.
What happened?
He must have heard me or sensed I was there, something, I don't know, but by the time I could do anything, it's too late.
What'd you do?
You know, he laughed. That foul bastard laughed. And then he said to me that he was going to come back every day and he was going to get $300 from me or else tell the cops.
300? Do you know how hard you'd have to work to make that? What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Oh, listen, honey, why don't you go away somewhere quiet? You've enough money. You can keep the wig and the clothes.
No! I've got to do this on my own.
Do what? Pay Jock Stewart's expenses? You've got to be joking.
Give me another one.
Sure.
I've got to do this, Helen. Because if I don't do this, I would never be able to live with myself. What I've done is so... I just couldn't face myself, that's all. I took the job. I've been with all those men. And one day, Jock Stewart is going to make a mistake and I'm going to get him. If it takes 100 men a day, I'm going to get him. Damn him! I'll do it. I know it.
Well, I hope you've had a profitable day.
Well, I wasn't expecting you so early. I've only got $150.
You lying bitch. I said 300. And I meant it. I know what you girls can earn. You're gonna have to offer your clients something more than just a wee gentle rub down, aren't you, eh? Or can you manage that, eh? I'm gonna be in here every day. I'm gonna want my money. I mean, after all, I deserve it. You know, I'm looking after you, you know?
See you, Tiger. And don't forget, remember me to the wife. I suppose this is the wrong thing to say, but you look awful.
Oh, God.
Was he there?
Yes.
Did he give you a hard time?
Yes, he did. At first, I didn't have the money, you see. So he threatened me, said he'd come back later.
Did he rough you up?
A bit. Anyway, he came back later. I had the money for him. Listen, I want you to do me a favor, huh?
Sure, anything. What is it?
This money is Doreen's money. There's $800 here, and I want you to open an account for her, huh?
In Doreen's name?
Yeah. You can still do her signature, huh?
Yeah, I suppose so, but you're going to need this money.
No, I'm not, you see. I owed her a lot more than that, but I've lost that. I've spent that, and she'll need some when she gets out.
Hey, this sounds like you're going back on the inside.
Yeah, it does.
Well, what about that Scottish bastard? What about him?
Don't you worry yourself. Not about Mr. Jock Stewart. He's finished.
Well, what are you doing?
Hello, police?
Oh, Judy,
Stop it. You,
Looking for Judy Bryant. There's a man called Jock Stewart who used to work at Wentworth. Now, if you follow him, you'll find her, because he's looking after her.
You're a bit slack, aren't you?
Well, it's a bit early.
I just thought I might pop over here just to check up on you. In case you get any wee ideas about, running away. I mean, after all, I'm looking after you. So I naturally feel responsible for you.
Oh, yeah, all right. You'll get your money. Just don't push me, okay?
I'll get my money, all right. Don't worry about that, Brian. Because if I don't, I'll bash the living daylights out of you, and that's a promise.
All right. It's just that I can't get any money with you hanging about me all the time, can I?
Ooh. What's the hurry? I mean, after all, I'm paying for this. Might as well get something out of it. Why don't you be nice to old Jock, eh?
You gotta be kidding. No! That's not part of the deal!
Sharon Gilmer was nice. She was very nice. I mean, one dyke's as good as another.
You bastard! You
Please, hands on the table! Right, you're both under arrest.
I've just had a little massage. There's no crime in that, is there?
Your name Jock Stewart?
It is, yeah. What about it?
Do you know who this woman is?
Haven't a clue.
Come on, Stewart. What we just heard outside the door makes you and Judy Bryant here good mates.
Never seen her before in my life.
Oh, come on, Jock. You might as well tell them the truth. The game's up now.
Stinking rotten bitch. Stewart! All right, go on. Come on. You're an ex-screw, aren't you? I've got news for you. I'm going to throw the book at you. A quiet spell on the other side of the bars will be no picnic, will it? Not so fast.
Well, it was worth a try, wasn't it? I just want to say one thing to you, Jock. This one was for Sharon. And I hope they kill you.
Come on.
Well, hello there, Vera.
Bryant.
In person. That better?
I knew you wouldn't last long. You should have learnt your lesson from the last time.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm a slow learner, huh?
There you are. On the line, Bryant.
Be nice to me, Vera.
That's enough, or you'll start off on the pound.
Yeah, well, what a lousy homecoming that'd be.
Your name is Judy Bryant?
Yes.
You have been charged with escaping from lawful custody.
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
Yes.
Bryant, Mrs. Davidson.
I'll bring her in.
Come on.
Well, Bryant, this is becoming quite a habit.
Hey, where's the welcoming committee?
Don't be impertinent. Escaping may be important in the eyes of the prisoners, but not to me.
No, ma'am.
We're going to be watching you very closely from now on.
Well, I'm not planning on going anywhere, am I?
I think it's unfortunate that you've taken this attitude. You came in here on a minor charge, and you are now publicly known as a dangerous criminal with a considerably increased sentence.
Well, that just goes to show you how effective rehabilitation is, doesn't it?
I'm going to suggest that you work hard at taking up a new interest. We have an education program here which may help.
Well, that's terrific. You know, I've always wanted to be an explosives expert.
That's enough, Bryant.
You will have to face the fact that you are going to be in here for some time. I think it's important you find something of value to do.
Value? Now, let me tell you something, Mrs. Davidson. The only valuable thing that I've done since I've been in here was to get out of the place and to make sure that certain people got what was coming to them.
What do you mean?
You were so smug on the television. The coroner's inquiry has proved that Sharon Gilmore's death was an accident. You just got out the usual whitewash.
That matter is closed.
You bet it is. Because Jock Stewart has got what he deserved.
And he's going to plant flowers all over the place. This place is going to look like the Botanical Gardens.
That'll make a change.
Oh, you should just have heard said. He knows the names of all the flowers. Did you know that you can get pink and white forget-me-nots?
Go on.
Yeah. God, I'm going to ask that teacher bloke if he can teach me some horticulture or whatever you call it.
Isn't he great?
Who, love?
Oh, Mr. Andrews, I just think he's so nice.
Now, hang on a minute. Don't tell me you're getting all mushy over the teacher.
Well, I reckon he's a bit of all right.
Yeah, well, just you remember that he's an officer. He may not be a screw, but he's still one of them. So just watch it.
I don't mind watching him at all.
You don't understand a thing I'm saying, do you?
Hey, where's the welcoming committee?
Where did he get caught? Oh, my. What happened?
Gee, it's really nice to see all of you.
Don't tell me you're happy to be back in here.
Oh, well, what do you think? Nothing's changed, has it?
Not a thing.
Well, come on, you lot, get a move on.
See what I mean?
I know a lot about Hungarian goulash, and what we had just now was not goulash. That was Irish stew. Anyone who knew anything about cooking would know that.
You know, you ought to be on telly, Lizzie.
Oh, that's a good idea. Do you reckon I ought to take some cooking lessons from that Mr. Andrews?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you, Doreen has fallen in love with the teacher.
I have not. I just think he's a nice bloke, that's all.
Tell us what happened on the outside, Jude.
Oh, where do I start, huh?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If I'd known what was going to happen to me while I'm out there, I don't think I would have gone.
Why?
Well, it wasn't worth it, I don't think. A lot of innocent people got hurt because of me. And,
Go on.
well, there's one thing I don't regret for a second.
What's that?
I got Jock Stewart.
You what?
What did you do?
Well, with a bit of luck, he's behind bars as we speak.
Well, Wonder Woman's got a thing on Judy Bryant.
Wonder Woman didn't have to work in a massage parlor to get her man.
What?
Yeah. You see, Helen found out that he was working the parlor, so I got her to get me a job at the one he went to.
But I can't imagine you working in a parlour.
It's the most disgusting thing I've ever done.
Oh, but it was worth it, wasn't it, to get Jock Stewart?
I had to do it. I owed that much to Sharon.
Well, at least you got the bastard.
No, Judy Bryant.
What sort of a state is she in?
I think it's too early to be sure.
She's still arrogant. These women never learn.
I'd like a close eye kept on her to make sure she gets back into routine. The education program should help.
When will I see her?
Well, I'll try to arrange for you to see her this afternoon, if possible.
Right.
Which brings us to you, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, well, right. I can't report much. I think the initial setting up was always a bit unsettling. However, I would like to ask if I could initiate an interview program where I talk to each of the women and assess their educational needs.
Well, that sounds excellent. What do you think?
I wouldn't believe everything the women tell you.
Well, Lizzie Birdsworth asked me just before I came here to see you about attending classes.
I might as well start with her.
Right.
Good. We'll expect reports on the prison's educational progress.
Thanks, Mrs. Davison.
Well, how much time will the women be allowed to attend the classes?
What do you think?
I'd imagine it'd depend on each one's ability and inclination. What would be the maximum?
Well, if you have some promising students, I don't see why they couldn't have, say, 5 half-days a week.
What about their other duties?
Well, I don't think the laundry will fall apart if a couple of them go off to classes.
They'll all want to be in it just to get out of work.
That hasn't been my experience so far.
Well, why don't you draw up a timetable after you've interviewed the women and we can assess it?
Right.
Well, is there anything else?
Nope.
No. Well, thank you, everyone.
Might as well start with Lizzie.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't spend all of it.
What'd you do with it?
I gave it to Helen. She's going to open a bank account in your name. There's $800 there.
Oh, beauty, Jude. That means I'm not broke. Because you know Mouse's money disappeared when the cops got her.
Well, honey, I promise you that I will pay you back the rest as soon as I can.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, you two, will you keep it down?
In a morning raid on an inner-city massage parlour, police surprised Bryant and an accomplice, Jock Stewart. Stewart has since been charged with harbouring and aiding an escapee, living off immoral earnings and assaulting a police officer. Bail was refused.
Haven't you heard the good news? Justice has finally reached Jock Stewart.
Mr. Andrews is doing some work in the library if any of you wish to help.
I will, Miss Bennett.
Look at Miss Goody Two-Shoes.
That's enough, Smith. Anyone else?
Districts cool and cloudy, with showers
Come on,
becoming mainly
Burns.
confined to the coast during the day and fresh to strong westerly winds moderating.
Oh, dear. Looks as though she's hit the jackpot, eh?
Don't worry, that won't last long.
Come on. Tell us how you set Jock Stewart up.
Oh, what, again?
Oh, I love to hear all about it.
Well, maybe I ought to write a book, huh? How I Caught Jock Stewart.
I reckon you'd make a fortune.
Really? I don't think anybody'd buy it.